All right, everybody, we're gonna make us a video on cutting the flour out. I'm gonna grind the flour into this pad right here I made the other day, and it's just gonna be to test some colors for that other flour that we just did. So we actually worked today, and it's like, I don't know, probably close to 4:30 in the afternoon right now. So a few things we're gonna do real quick. We're gonna move Ricky's car. So we'll go ahead and get Ricky's Camaro moved. We got JT's truck outside. He's gonna get that truck in here so he can put his new motor in, so he can go do some burnouts. So you guys will get to see Ricky's car here. This is Ricky's first car that he bought when he was 16 years old. So, but yeah, it's a really nice car. It was a one-owner car.
60,000 miles and got a new motor for it.
A new motor? Oh yeah, he does have a, there's an LT1. Oh no, it's got an LT1 in it.
That's LS.
But there's an LS one, you know, the 5.7 up there, and I've got like the cross member, or you know, the K member, and the fuel system and all the lines and everything, but it's just, it's all up there in those boxes. But it does have a nice rear end in it. We put a 12-bolt Moser rear end in it. And it ran like 1390s. Anywhere from 1390s to 1420s. The LT1s aren't that consistent. I don't know why I thought those wheels were chrome.
I don't know why the wheel has to be outside the tire so far. So you did on every fucking thing.
Keep it cut that way. Straighten it out. Straight, straight. That's good. She's like, thank you. It sounds pretty bitch though.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny is that it kind of sounds like that when you put it in that low tube.
All right, everybody. So we're gonna do this for the first time together. This is my first attempt at cutting the same flour that I did on that patio the other day. I'm going to draw one on this here by hand, and then I'm gonna grind it out with a grinder by hand. I'm gonna airbrush some color on this thing and just use it as a sample. So what I'm gonna do first is get my center. So I'm just kind of going corner to corner. I'm gonna mark that. And this thing isn't perfect. This thing that I made here, it's not square. This is just a rough little pad that I made on the job the other day. But so that's my center point right there. Now I might be able to use JT's square here. Let's see, get me a nail or something. Okay, so now I've got my center marked out. I'm just gonna take this screw and hold it on the center here. And then I'm just gonna mark a circle out using this square. Okay, so now I'm gonna say, let's see, that needs to be a little bit bigger than that, I think. All right, this couldn't have worked out any better. I was trying to find something to mark this other inner line here, and I found this bad boy. Stuff always comes in handy for something. I'm gonna hold that in the center, and then I'm gonna just go in this right here and make our inner line for that outer border. Looks a little bit big now that it's down. So it does look a little big. I'm gonna wipe this one off, try to anyways. By the time I clean it and everything, I'll be able to get that back off. Like I said, it's my first time, so be easy. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I just found whatever worked. Like I said, this is the first time doing this, so I'm just gonna freehand all this. This worked out beautiful, so you could cut a little board or cut some, whatever. JT had some siding over there I was gonna cut. My next step is I'm just gonna try to eyeball. I guess I can square it off of this bad boy. All right, so now I'm just gonna get a little bit of a square with our center. That actually looks really good. Let's go lightly mark it. Yes, that looks pretty good. Go back on there. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just do a right mark on that. Come over this way. Get back in the center. Try to get square, even though this piece isn't square. That looks pretty darn good. Okay, so now we'll freehand the pedals on. All right, so I didn't really like the way that first one turned out, so I'm gonna change it to, let's just see here what's gonna look good. I think that looks much better. That looks a little bit better there. Yep, did not like the way it looked that first time. I should have stopped before I went all the way because I could tell it was a little too fat. But this looks way better. I like this. That looks way, way better. My hand's been wiping my line off there. Let's try to make it match with that side. Just bring it down to that little point there. Same thing with this one. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball a little point, line up with that, line up with that. Come over and kind of line up over this way. Same there. This one doesn't look like it's the center. It looks like it goes over there. Yeah, that looks way better. Way better. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of go through and darken up my lines, and then I'm just gonna fire up that grinder and go to town on this bad boy. So this winter maybe I'll have to mess around with some of the woodwork. While I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and throw up a couple pictures. Here's some pictures of some of the carvings and stuff that I've done over the years. I mean, I don't do nothing crazy, fancy, nothing like that, but I just do these little signs, you know. I used to do it all the time. I actually used to go to Texas to first Monday trade days in Canton, Texas, and I'd go down there once a month, and I would take all these benches. Like there's one of those benches right there. It's my mom's. I actually need to redo the lettering on it and take it back out to her. She's probably mad at me. All right, well, that's our flower there. This one's gonna have the little lines in it too to match the one at the house. So now it's time to cut it out. See any safety glasses around here anywhere?
Just the ones I was wearing, but not any clear ones.
There should be some clear ones somewhere. I used to have a whole bunch of them damn things over here. All right, everybody. So I guess this thing would really be better out if it was on the ground for me, so I could get a little cleaner accuracy on this. But I'm just gonna fire this thing up, and I'm just gonna go to town and keep a steady hand and see what happens. And then I am really happy with the way that turned out. So I'm gonna try to make more of these, you know, tutorial type videos. It's taken me a lot of getting used to talking to the camera. I really appreciate all you guys with the positive feedback. It definitely motivates me to keep making these videos and to keep being creative and try new stuff. Yeah, well, you know what's funny is that all the way up until the very second that I touched that grinder to that concrete, I didn't think about all the dust in here. So, all right, everybody, this is the finished product on cutting this thing out. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna go about, you know, coloring it and everything. This is such a small scale compared to what I'm working with on the actual patio that it's going to be a little different, but either way, this is still going to give me a really good idea on what to do. Nothing better than pulling your truck in to do a motor job and then some guy just starts cutting concrete out right next to it.
How close you can get this concrete to?
Yeah, no, you're good. All right, everybody, that's it. That's how we cut out a free-handed flower. So I'm sure that if we continue to do these, we can probably tweak the process, use a different blade, which I like this blade, and this is kind of small scale, but honestly, you know, you just threw this thing on somebody's corner of their patio. I mean, I think, let me see, I had a tape measure. It's just over 3 foot, so I mean, you could really sneak this. You had a 4-foot sidewalk, you could sneak this thing right in the sidewalk and it actually looked really good in there. So, or like on the corners of your pool. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back with another video whenever I color this. So that's going to be a learning process for me as well. So I've used airbrushes in the past, messing around, and I've done staining, so it's not like I'm just completely new to the deal. But using the airbrush on this with the stain will be the first time, but I'll have that video out soon. So thank you guys for watching.